I've been traveling a lot. What did I eat today so far? Well, Kepler bought me some food yesterday, so I had a little bit of leftovers. But besides that, I had 2 apples and a bottle of juice. Now, the day before that, I also ate Kepler's food exclusively, so it's always good to know where the raw joint is, wherever you're going. So look it up, Then the day before that, which was what's today now? So that was Tuesday. I've been traveling. I left out of San Diego on Monday, and it was Monday morning. I think I just had a couple of fruits and some juice before I got on the plane. Of course, you got to drink your juice first. And in traveling, normally I don't eat while I'm flying. The body cannot digest while you're up in the air. So don't try that. And I think they probably have figured it out, so they stopped serving meals in most airlines. They're really catching up. The grassroots, they're catching up. They've figured out that they can make their money charging you for your extra suitcase rather than trying to charge you for food anymore. So that's not a place to eat. And they knocked out all the you can't take your own liquids unless you buy some juice in the airport somewhere. But that's probably about all you might want to do while you're up there. And if they offer you some water, that'll work, something like that. But other than that, being 24 hours or traveling in the airports, I just had a bag of fruits with me. They allow that still to get past. So you always make sure you have fruits. And fruits that are snackable, means you don't need a knife because you can't carry a knife on the plane, with you. So you have to make sure you have grapes and apples and, bananas and these types of things that you can eat without having to process them in any way. And that's generally the way that we journey. Fruits is usually the best salvation, diet when you're moving around. Because you pretty much can find fruits everywhere around the world. No matter where you are, you're going to be able to find something. Even if it's just one fruit, just buy enough for the day. We have to learn how to simplify, number one, what we eat, what our intakes are, and be able to go with the flow. But I find what's really helpful more than anything else in terms of how I procure my food when I'm traveling is that I have developed a way of maintaining my constitution of trying to fast once a week and fasting on the solstice and the equinox. So I do a lot of fasting. So at the drop of, in any moment, I can kick in the fasting gear. If I can't find my food, I just don't eat. That's always the best lifesaver, is not to compromise. Just be ready to shut down the digestive system 100%, even if you have to go even without liquid. So it's good to start conditioning the body to be able to live without food for whatever period of time it may be necessary. But otherwise, just traveling around the U.S., there's pretty much a Whole Food in every 50 miles on the freeway. So you can get off and go grab a Whole Food somewhere. And I'm not talking a Whole Food business supermarket, but there's Whole Food establishments. If you're on the road, if you're moving on the road, you can go somewhere and find some Whole Foods. You could even go to a supermarket. There's lots of wash vegetables these days, the packaged baby spinach and all of these types of things, the spring mix and things like that. So I will go and buy me one of those little boxes. You got your bowl right there. I'll buy one of those little boxes. I'll get some cherry tomatoes, the smallest tomatoes I can find that I don't have to cut up. So I'll drop some of those in there. I'll find some olives that are pitted. I'll drop some olives off in there. Get avocado. I always, you can just squeeze an avocado off. I don't even have to cut it up or anything like that. Just squeeze it off and drop that off in there. So there's ways that we can navigate based on what's available in our environment. But you can pretty much find fresh food that is ready to eat anywhere you go, but you just have to be ready to put it together. If it means just getting one of those little produce bags, and just drop, your spinach in there and your tomatoes, and you can find some chopped onions on the shelf somewhere in the supermarket these days. You can find some shredded carrots. There's all these things are around now. We're living in this environment here where convenience is there for our taking. So we just have to keep our consciousness on alert to make the right choices, and also to be ready to pay for it, which is not a problem if you're traveling like that. Because if you're traveling, you got money these days. You can't travel on a broke pocket. It's expensive to travel. So you can, go ahead and just buy some pre-prepared stuff and just shake it up in one of those little produce bags. You can squeeze some lemon juice on there. You can get a little olive oil, or go to the olive bar, and you can get olives that already have oil in them. So you don't have to really even buy a bottle of oil. If you want, you can buy a little container of nut butter, like sesame tahini, something that's pourable, that you can just go ahead and pour some of that in there. It's very economical to eat this way than to consider eating out at a restaurant. I generally don't eat out at restaurants. I would eat from Kepra, someplace that I know that there's integrity and the food is really real. But eating out, the more conscious you become of your diet, of your eating, the less options there is out there for you to eat. So because eating out is really an entertainment. It's a form of entertainment. When you go to a restaurant, you're going to be entertained. You're not going there to eat healthy. That's not the purpose of going to a restaurant. So you'll always be disappointed. You're going to get small portions. You're going to compromise on your options, and then you may even feel bad, and then you might feel you got ripped off, and then you try to curse the people out and all of those things, and you're upset. You write bad reviews. So you need to really take ownership of your choices, and be ready to just put it together where you're. There are places all over the world where you can find just traditional ethnic restaurants. We were in LA, my assistant and I, Tish, we were in LA last week, and we were just waiting at the car dealership to get our car serviced, and we needed some juice. We asked the dealer, where can we find some juice? He said, over here you can find this, over there you can find that. We found a Mexican restaurant. They got everything in there. But we found one thing, they made fresh juice, and we were able to get them to make fresh juice for us. So we have to really keep our foundation strong, keep our determination strong, and not be open to compromising at all. And again, most of all, be ready to just shut it down and stop eating.